So tell us who you are and who you represent.
Pedersen from the 43rd Legislative District.
So the domestic partnership bill passed this week. How significant is this and what does it mean for Washington?
The passage of the domestic partner bill is a major step forward for gay and lesbian couples and their families, and for heterosexual senior couples who are registered. We have about 5,200 families who enjoy its protections right now. And after the passage of this bill, they will enjoy all of the same state law rights and benefits that married couples have in Washington. So it's a big step forward. It's still not marriage equality, but it provides protection for all of those families while we continue to work on educating people down here and across the state about the importance of marriage for our families.
In this tough economy, foreclosures are on the rise, and the legislature has addressed this. What have they done?
Well, you're right. Just this week we have news about how dramatically increasing the foreclosure rate is in King County, in Seattle, and across our state. And so the legislature, together with the governor, has taken some really important steps toward protecting people who are in danger of foreclosure. The bill that we passed is going to provide an opportunity for people before they go into foreclosure to work with their banks to try to find alternatives to foreclosure. It's going to provide protection for tenants who are in danger of having the houses that they rent foreclosed by giving them at least 60 days notice and protection for their security deposits. It also means that if you have claims against the landlord or the bank, that those claims are preserved even in spite of the foreclosure process.
And the legislature also took action on consumer protection this session. Tell us about that.
The Consumer Protection Law was originally passed in the 1960s and then updated in 1971 and again in 1983. And it provides people remedies, the right to sue for damages when there are businesses that are injuring consumers in a way that could be repeated and harm multiple consumers. The law is actually one that's referenced in a lot of other statutes, and it is the remedy that people have for violation of those statutes. Well, unfortunately, we haven't updated the damages cap in the law since 1983, when it was set at $10,000. And obviously there's been a lot of inflation since then, so $10,000 in 2009 isn't what it was 26 years ago. So the one big thing that we did in this year's update of the Consumer Protection Law is to bump up that damages amount to what it would have been if it had been adjusted for inflation, $25,000. And then in addition to that, we, responding to some court decisions that limited the rights of consumers, have expanded the public interest test, as it's called, to say that if an action by a business is capable of causing injury, or if it caused injury, then it's going to one or more more persons than just one, then we're going to allow them to pursue the action under the Consumer Protection Act.
The legislature just passed a bill dealing with body art, piercings, and tattoos. What does this bill do?
Well, you know, as a resident of Capitol Hill, I'm sort of at ground zero, and the 43rd District, of course, is ground zero for tattooing and body art. And that's great. Most of the people who practice tattooing and body art are great practitioners who take care of their customers and are concerned for them. But we haven't had any regulation in Washington State for these professions. In fact, it's just about the only people who can pierce people's skin without any sort of state oversight. And we know in the world of HIV and AIDS that the use of needles is fraught with danger. So this bill for the first time sets up a licensing structure and oversight to make sure that consumers are protected when they decide that they want to get piercings or tattoos, and that that's going to be done safely. We're really happy that after many years of work on this, we were able to pass the bill through the Health Care Committee where I serve, and off the floor of the House. It's passed the Senate and on the way to the governor's desk for signature.
Great. Well, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.